everybody. So I decided to do a little bit of track painting. Since I'm getting close to actually putting the track back onto the layout. So kind of playing around with this a little bit. Never really weathered track or painted track before. I know I've seen some videos. Watch some guys, you know, they take their airbrushes and they paint it, and I seen the guys with just spray cans of Rust-Oleum camouflage or Krylon or something like that. I don't know. I didn't really feel comfortable doing that. Don't ask me why. I just didn't. Mainly, I think it's because the track and the road bed's all connected with this Bachman Easy track. Has its pros and cons, right? So I decided to go a little bit different route. I picked up these. They're called Crate FX Testers Weathering Paint Markers. Basically, you know, like this package, I got 3 colors. I got rail brown, rail tie brown, and rust. And in this package, we have earth, mud, and grime. The grime wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be. I was actually looking for, I think I was looking more along the lines for like a grimy black, and this is more of a sort of a creamish color, you know, to it. But I haven't tried the mud one yet, the mud marker. So needless to say, here's some of my results to this point. So that's what the track looks like when you get it from Bachman. Not sure how well you can see the, you know, it's sort of black railroad ties. You know, the rails are nice and silver shiny. Here was my first attempt at doing some to it. I came along here on the edge and I did some rust on each edges, inside and out. I did that rust and some brown and stuff on the rails, and then I came in here with the rail tie brown and painted all the ties, and then I mixed in a little bit of the grime as well as with some of this earth tones, and just blended it a little bit. I did a little bit more on this one, as you can see. Not sure which one I like. Not sure which method I like best. On these two, I kind of like this one a little bit because the ties look a little bit more weathered. Maybe I'll do a mixture of these. I may actually even leave some of the ties this dark color, this dark brownish blackish color that these come in, just to make it look like, well, hey, those might be new, right? And I don't know. kind of like I said, learning as I go. But so far, I'm pretty happy with the results. So like I said, this is my first attempt at painting the rails. These markers are actually really easy to use. First time I've actually even used these things before. I used something like this. Trying to remember what it was. I think it was sort of like to fix like a chip in your paint on your car. So I have used something similar to this, but not exactly like this. You know, you can see this is the rust color, and what I'm basically doing is I'm just kind of holding it trying to get, I don't want to get anything on the top. I got my, what they call, I forget what them things called, Easy Brighter, I don't know, Scotch Bright thing, whatever, anything, rail cleaner. Anywho, so just basically coming down here, and now they'll get that rust color, that nice looking rust color. I did 2 passes of it, and periodically, you know, you want to try to press down to get a good flow of paint. I'm trying, actually, believe it or not, to be careful with getting it too closest to the ends here, because I'm going to take an attempt when I go to put the track back on the layout. I'm going to take the attempt of soldering the ends of the rails together, so that way I get a nice nice blend of good power flow through the track. So there we go. So that's, I think I got, and I'm actually quite impressed with this the rust marker on this, because I'll be honest with you, that, you know, I'm not sure how well you can see that, but it does actually really nice job of actually getting it a rust color look to it. Not bad. And then I was taking, like I said, I took some of this grime, and I just kind of, you know, don't want a whole lot on the, I just kind of put a little bit here, there, and everywhere, right? So this is sort of, like I said, it's kind of a cream color. The ties on this Bachmann track does have a little bit of a wood grain to it, so this kind of does bring out some of that wood grain a little. Like I said, I don't want to, try not to make it look like it's on every single one. Now I'll come along on the edges of some of these as well, because you can even see on the, here where I came down with that rust marker, the spike heads on the rails all have that nice little rust look to them. Okay. Touch, little dab here, little dab there. And a little dab there. There you go. You want to make sure you get the caps sealed on this stuff good, otherwise you'll dry it out. Now, basically, you want to leave that set to dry. So at that point in time, I would actually, you know, grab another one and move on to that one. So we're going to let that set dry, and then as soon as that basically, well, I'm going to go grab another piece of track, and then we'll come back with the video, and we'll apply the next layer of the paints, and I'll kind of show you how I'm doing this. So here we go. Okay, so that's set up some. Now I'm just basically taking this mud color and just putting a little bit here, there, and everywhere on this, and covering up some of that light grime. Just getting the different shades of it. And I don't really care if I get any on this roadbed or not, because I'm going to be ballasting this, so for the most part no one's going to see this roadbed. So well, I guess that kind of makes me wonder why I just didn't spray paint this one. It's, I guess I don't like paint on the top of the rails. I'm always a little paranoid, I guess, of it messing up the the continuity of the track and stuff like that. And so I mean, that's kind of, so you're seeing it. And then got another one here kind of going as well. So I'll put a little mud on there. Now I'm going to grab my rust here again. Got a little stand up there. Might take one sand and put these markers in that stand. I got a marker stand up there. Then I'm just going to come along here and put another coat of rust on inside and outside of the rails. Okay. And I got another one here as well going. I'm going to start putting a little bit on it. I'm going to do the same thing. This is a curved piece. And that's pretty much it for the rust. And like I said, you got to make sure these caps on these things fit really tight. So this one here, I did a little bit of, so far I got a little bit of this mud color, and a little bit of this grime color mixed in there, and then I'll put a top coat of rail tie brown over that, and should kind of blend in nice. This one here, I'm going to go ahead and I just put a little bit of that earth tone on there. Now I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of this grime on here as well, and just kind of here, there, blend it in a little bit with the other colors that's already there. And like I said, I think this stuff here kind of does a little bit nicer job of making the ties look a little bit more, I guess you'd say, gives it a little bit of a weathered look. Okay, and continue going to town here and let these pieces here dry. As you can see, I kind of got a little bit of a process going. I'm going to go grab another piece, and then when these dry, we'll finish them up. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put in the on the rail tie brown here. And this is basically all I'm going to do is just kind of give everything sort of a general coating of this. And And notice that the stuff that I had underneath it's still kind of shining through. A little more paint. The only problem with these markers, if you're not careful, you take off the color underneath it. There you go. And that's not what I want to do. I'm just kind of coloring in the spots I haven't touched yet, and then I give a general swipe over everything to kind of just blend it all together. And you have to let's get in there. And like I said, when it's all said and done, it kind of blends everything nicely. Whoa, got quite a bit of a dab now. So that's what happens when you're like, not getting paint, not getting paint, not getting paint. Oh, too much. There we go. There we go. There we go. And so you can kind of get a gist of what I'm doing here, and I mean it's nothing more than just painting rails. So that's you know, when that dries, it gets sort of this is going to look more similar to this one that I did earlier, and then it will look somewhat weathered, somewhat it won't look like just this flat, this sort of you know, straight out, you know, unnatural, I guess, looking color. Some of the other pieces I'm working at here, I got these haze bumpers, and as you can see what I'm doing kind of there, doing a little bit of different colors. Now this here, because I don't care, I decided to give it a shot, so I put some of that grime color up on the rails, and I really don't care if I get anything on the rails on these, because nothing's going to run on this piece of track. So I just kind of went to town a little bit on it, and just to see how it would look. I kind of like this grime color up on the rails here, on the sides here, so I may actually do that on some of these as well. Just put some of that grime, maybe some of that earth tones and stuff up on the sides of the rails as well. Just give it a little bit of different shades. So that is that's pretty much it for this video on painting rails. I'm basically so, you know, getting that step, those small progressive steps towards actually putting the track back on the layout, which would be kind of nice, because then I can run some trains. Haven't run trains in a while, except for on my Christmas layout there. So, but this would be interesting to actually run it on this layout. So there we go. My next video will probably be on wiring, because once I get the track painted, it's basically going to be focused on wiring. So that is basically wiring the feeders, doing the bus line. I'll be putting some of the track in, and also be using, I'll be soldering, well, attempting to solder the joints, the rail joints. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Please, if you find this video worthwhile and entertaining, please like it, and so don't forget to subscribe. I have 2 other channels as well. I have a channel on virtual pinball, if that's something you're interested in. I also have a channel on retro gaming, and I'll be posting videos on all 3 channels. Mostly on the railroad channel right now, because it's kind of, model railroading is kind of where I'm focusing on my attention on. But eventually I'll be picking back up with some of the virtual pinball stuff. I have a couple things floating in my head that I want to try. So, all right, thanks for watching. Have a good day.